of a sheep, and it's not what you found. This is a thigh bone of a cow. Imagine a femur bigger than me. It had belonged to an animal at least 20 metres from nose to tail. It had belonged to a sauropod, like this one. And you wouldn't expect to find it out here, but this is where the bone was found. Luckily for me, sauropods don't live here anymore, but once upon a time there were herds of them out here. Once upon a time, there were monsters in the outback.
Dinosaurs have been found almost everywhere. Actually, almost everywhere but Australia, where until recently, very little evidence and none of the real giants had been found. And then something happened which revolutionised our understanding of Australia's dinosaurs. It happened in Queensland, near a place called Winton. Winton has the look of a place that's never changed. You can't help thinking that it must have looked like this forever. In fact, it's changed a lot. 98 million years ago, this harsh, dry landscape was a forested wetland on the northern shores of a great inland sea. It was home to a wide variety of animals, such as Mimir, a small armoured dinosaur that foraged on the lush vegetation that thrived during this time. Many species of sauropods browsed through the open conifer forests. The 16-metre-long Winton Titan, one of Winton's smaller sauropods, could easily reach into the treetops. Its sheer weight and size meant that it had few enemies. Motobarosaurus is Australia's largest known ornithopod and heads a menagerie of smaller two-legged dinosaurs that were common throughout the area. One of the smallest, a chicken-sized Celerosaur, is known from running footprints near Winton. They live in great numbers. Scientists have known about isolated dinosaur remains around Winton for many years. However, it was only recently that the abundance of the region's dinosaurs really became known. The story belongs to David Elliott, founder of the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum and a third-generation farmer in the district. David Elliott's discovery, which triggered unprecedented excitement, was identified as the thigh bone from a sauropod, now fittingly nicknamed Elliott.
David Elliott's discovery and all the work that he and his supporters have done since have put Winton on the dinosaur map. But this little town has another claim to fame. On a property not far from here, a poet named Andrew Barton Patterson, or Banjo Patterson, penned the most famous lyric in Australia. It was here he wrote Waltzing Matilda.
One of Australia's most widely known bush ballads, Waltzing Matilda tells the story of a swagman camped by a waterhole.
But there's more than one famous Banjo and Matilda in Winton. On most digs, they discover a bone, or perhaps a partial skeleton. But on one dig, they discover the remains of two different dinosaurs, buried together in what was once an ancient billabong.
These are the remains of the two creatures the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum has fondly named Banjo and Matilda. Can you tell me more about them? Did you find them?
No, I didn't actually find Banjo and Matilda. They were found by a lady who lived the other side of Winton, probably 150 kilometres away from us. And she rang Judy and I up and said there's this great big bone at the ground, come and have a look. There was a huge sauropod dinosaur, but not only that, there was a ranger in the pit with it, and within our first dig, we found a couple of little bones, we realised that there was something pretty exciting there, because it was definitely not Matilda. And when we kept going, of course, there's a beautiful sauropod dinosaur, and there's a carnivorous dinosaur right beside Matilda, so two dinosaurs to the price of one. Banjo is the first carnivorous dinosaur known by more than one bone or one scrap of bone in Australia. And Matilda was exactly the same. She was the most complete specimen of a sauropod that we've found today.
The bones of Banjo and Matilda were found Dinosaur died around 98 million years ago.
Alrighty, so in this cabinet here we do have Tookie. Tookie is our Contractosuchus sauropterus, and he is a crocodile-like species. So once again, not a dinosaur. Now down over this edge here we do have a portion of his skull, and I reckon if you have a look at it, it is a little bit similar to modern-day crocs. Now when we found Tookie, he was contained in a nice big ball of rock, one of those concretions. So whoever mentioned the ball of rock earlier, they do sometimes have fossils in them, but not always. Now, before we prepped him out of that rock, he went down for a